Hey, what is up guys? It is Phantom here and welcome back to a brand new video guys. So in today's video I'm going to be showcasing my top 5 favorite fire spells in the game guys. If you didn't know, fire is my favorite school in the game. It is my main school. It's the first wizard I ever created. I have a long-lasting relationship with the fire school guys. So today I'm going to tell you my top 10 favorite spells guys. Basically I chose them, really it was pretty much based on my opinion and like how much I really like these spells as a whole, not really based on like how good they are in PvP or PvE, but just how much I like the spells, you know, personally, like a heart-to-heart spell thing, because like obviously, you know, spells are a really important part of this game, and I don't know, I feel like they can tell a lot about the person you are. That didn't make much sense. Anyways guys, let's get into the first one. I mean guys, come on, you knew it had to be on the list somewhere guys. I didn't want to put it too high because, you know, obviously it's a classic spell, right, but it doesn't do a whole lot. I feel like it's a little bit of a boring spell. However, that does not mean it is not useful. Fireblade, I mean, what would I have done without you, really? Just buffing my spells every single battle. I mean, it's probably one of my most widely used spells, and probably the same for many fire wizards. I mean, blades, like, come on. Like, what are you gonna do without blades? You're not gonna progress in the game if you don't have adequate blades, guys. Honestly, they're just so important. They're essential, guys, and that's why they kind of had to be on this list, you know? Honestly, not too many memories with the Fireblade because it's just used so much, it all kind of blends together, guys. But overall, a really classic and useful spell that, you know, I just had to put somewhere, guys. But, see, I mean, like come on, it's useful, guys. It's just, that's just the way it is. I don't know what to say, guys. Anyways, let's move on to number 9. I remember I thought I was such a beast when I first got the Hellephant spell, guys. This spell, oh my god, honestly, yeah, like I said, I was kind of the kid on the block, if you know what I'm saying. I was kind of the ultimate beast fire wizard, you know, when I got this spell. I don't know, it was a big milestone for me, you know. I had a lot of memories, you know, just kind of looking at the spell in like Dahlia Falmea's little like GUI that popped up whenever you pretty much open like, you know, her like dialogue and everything. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but guys, Hellephant, I'm not gonna lie, it's powerful. It's powerful for the level that you get it at, and you know, honestly, you could do some crazy damage with it. Obviously, you know, I'm max level, so it does more than it really should, but guys, I don't know. I had a lot of fond memories with Hellephant, really just trucking through Dragonspire with this guy at my side, you know. No one could really stop us. We were the dynamic duo. I never use it anymore. God, I probably haven't touched it in years, guys, but it will always be one of my favorites, and something that some spell that basically I'll reflect on pretty much forever, because I don't know, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me in its own right, guys. But anyways, let's move on to number 8, I think, guys. Number 8. Coming in at number 8, guys, we have our very own King Artorius, guys. This spell, he's a fucking beast, basically. Honestly, King Artorius, like, is honestly one of my favorite characters in the game, and the fact that they made him into a spell and gave it to you at the start of Chrysalis, I don't know, guys. I think it's just one of the coolest looking spells in my opinion. Definitely one of the coolest animations they've ever done, and yes, it does have basically the same animation for pretty much every single one of these King Artorius spells, but I don't know, guys. There's something about the fire one, like the water's red and everything, and oh man, I don't know. It's just so cool. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's not exactly a classic because it came out a few years ago, but I don't know, man. I just hold that spell near and dear. Like I said, I don't really use it anymore. I mean, it's been replaced by like those higher level like Darkmoor and Polaris Shadow spells, obviously. So it is a little bit outdated, but honestly, it wasn't bad for the time. It's not bad for the level. Honestly, if you still use it to this day, I can kind of see why. I mean, I don't know. It's just an absolute beast of a spell. Probably just one of the coolest in this game, in my opinion. Anyways, guys, let's move on to number 7. I mean, if we're talking about beasts, though, Hound surely makes that category, guys. Honestly, kind of a powerhouse spell, not gonna lie. Definitely one of my favorites, which is why it's on this list, guys. But honestly, a very underused spell in my opinion. I'm not sure really what its role in PvP is exactly. I mean, I just know it's only used in PvE for like really special bosses like the Titan's Trident and everything like that. But you know, honestly, it's really not a bad spell. It does like pretty decent damage. 130 per pip is not bad, even though it's in overtime. I mean, you could definitely do some serious damage with this guy, and honestly I wish I used him more, but yeah, I don't know. The spell is honestly kind of crazy in its own right, but if it was like an AOE spell, it would definitely be a little bit OP. I'm kind of glad they didn't do that, but aside from very, very specific fights, like I said, the Titan's Trident, you don't really use it all that much. I kind of forget what level you get it at, but I know it's in a bit of the early stages of the game, but I had some memories of just kind of using that, and I think Croc and, or no, Marleybone and Mushu, I believe. That was kind of my peak when I used that spell, and then I realized, I don't know, it just wasn't as worth it, but heck, Hound, you're always going to be near and dear to me, guys. Anyways, let's move on to number 6. Honestly, probably one of the most underutilized spells in the game, guys. We have Backdraft coming in at number 6, guys. 15% per pip to the next fire spell. It's a trap, so yeah, we're just going to use it here. I've got almost max pips here. I got that fail pip at the beginning, which, you know, kind of sucks, but honestly, this spell is actually really, really good. Granted, it does take a long time to kind of save up for that, like, max amount of power that you could achieve through this, but honestly, it just makes your spells that much more powerful. I mean, I am a max level, but this Fire Cat, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna do some damage. It's gonna do some damage. But honestly, Backdraft, really, really useful spell for pretty much every boss. That Fire Cat just did 6k. Yeah, honestly, ooh, hit conserve. But yeah, guys, Backdraft, you get it in Avalon, I believe. Avalon from that little owl lady, I believe. Honestly, one of the best spells, like, that you definitely, like, get in, like, that sort of leveling scheme, if that makes sense, like level 70 to level 80. I don't know, I just think it's a really, really important spell to have. For special bosses, obviously, it can be really, really useful, such as the Titan's Trident, I think. Sorry, I haven't done that fight in a while, but I know it is used for some specific boss fights. Honestly, it's an absolute powerhouse of a spell, but I feel like a lot of people don't use it because it takes away all your pips. It's basically like Supercharge, but for fire. But overall, it's a really, really awesome spell, and it's actually pretty useful, and I might have to start using it more because, honestly, it's just that good, guys. Some of you might argue it's not worth it, but honestly, one of my personal favorites, guys. Anyways, let's move on to number 5. Now, I don't think that this spell is necessarily good by any means. You know, it was kind of created in a time when Shadow didn't actually exist, so you couldn't really get that huge value for your spells because there were no Shadow pips, you know? There weren't like these 5 pip amazing Shadow spells, but honestly, guys, it is a classic. It's honestly one of the coolest spells that I think Fire has, Sun Serpent. I mean, I don't know, guys, the thing is just fucking majestic. I mean, what can I say? Like, here, let's just cast it here. I honestly really, really enjoy using this spell, even though I never do, but it's just like, oh man. I don't know, it's just epic, dude. I don't know, there's something about it, guys. I say that a lot, but there's something about it that just makes it so beast. Oh my god. When the Fire Cat does more damage than the Sun Serpent. Anyways, guys. But seriously, even though it might not be worth it for the pips, or, like, it being necessarily, like, a good spell, like, I don't know. It is very outdated, and I wouldn't use it if you have Shadow Magic, but, I mean, if you get it, like, if you use it right when, like, you get it, I mean, it's probably fine, but overall, not a very worthwhile spell, but just a very, very awesome, cool spell. A bit of nostalgia there in my old Azteca questing, because that's when I really used it a lot. It was really, really prevalent during that time. But anyways, guys, let's move on to number 4. Moving on to some actually useful spells, guys. We have Meteor Strike. Oh my god, I could not get through the first arc if it wasn't for Meteor Strike, guys, or like any sort of AoE spell. Honestly, I don't know how life does it, but guys, I mean, if we're talking about classics, like Meteor Strike is just almost the king of that category, honestly. Like, it just destroys every enemy in your path in a fiery explosion, and honestly, it's just a really, really awesome spell for low levels, guys. Yeah, honestly, not even a bad spell. Like, I'll still use it to this day, honestly, because it's, like, still, I don't know, somehow it's, like, still relevant, you know, in the grand scheme of things, to maybe take out some smaller mobs, or, like, maybe a boss's minion or something like that. I will still use Meteor Strike, because it's really not a bad spell. Like, it's crazy that they could introduce a spell at level 22, and then just have it still be, like, that good. I don't know, to me, that's just amazing, and also the spell is just super nostalgic, so, you know, I had to put it pretty high on the list, but guys, anyways, let's move on to the top 3. Alright, I might get some salt for this one in the comments down below, because it's a shadow spell, but guys, just the sheer amount of firepower that Fire from Above has, just, I don't know, I think it makes it absolutely essential for higher level gameplay, guys. And I just realized my game always lags in Unicorn Way. I have no idea, guys, I'm so sorry about that, but honestly, despite it being a really, really epic spell, I mean, not only looks-wise, I don't really, actually no, that's a lie, I use it a lot. I don't know, guys, there's something just so epic about it. The animations, they're updated, they're pretty cool. It relates to Chrysalis, one of my favorite worlds, JK, but honestly, just the sheer amount of damage that it does, then it puts a fuel up as well, guys. I don't know. I mean, it's just insane. It really is just insane what this spell can do. I just think it's obviously really, really good value, you know, for 5 pips, and even though it requires a shad, shads really aren't that hard to get unless you have bad RNG, but honestly, really, really good spell, really solid spell. I will be using that for many more years to come, guys. But anyways, let's go on to number 2, guys. How could I put Meteor on the list, but not Fire Dragon, guys? This spell is just, once again, just a fucking beast, guys. I don't know, I just use it. I have been using this spell ever since I got it at level 48 to now, which is 130 in fucking Imperia, guys. I'm not even kidding. Great damage for the value, obviously. I mean, once you get those like higher stats with the accuracy, when you can't fizzle, honestly, this spell is just amazing. And you get that crit, obviously. It just does a ton of damage for the amount of pips it costs. And honestly, similar to Meteor, this spell has held up really, really well in late game. I still find myself using this spell a lot. I find other people using this spell a ton, as well as Meteor Strike. I don't know, guys. I feel like they're just kind of spells that never really go out of style, and that's kind of why I like them so much. But anyways, guys, let's move on to the number 1 spell, my favorite fire spell in the game, at least. I don't know if I'd call it my favorite spell, but yeah, guys. Anyways, let's go there. Number 1, guys, is gonna be Scald. No, I'm kidding. No, really, guys, it has to be Efreet. This spell, the ultimate salt spell with the minus 90% charm, guys. Oh my god, just the amount of the amount of salt that has probably just been exchanged over one spell is just probably immense, guys. Despite that, it's actually a really, really useful spell. It's pretty powerful. Honestly, not a bad spell in PvE either. It's got really, really good value for its pip cost, honestly. 895 plus an enchant, not too bad, guys. Does pretty decent damage. I use it sometimes. Not as much as I used to, like in the Zafaria days. That's when I remember using this spell a lot, and Avalon too. I don't know, guys, but every once in a while, you know, I'll still use it. It's an extremely cool spell, guys, and I don't know, it really means a lot to me, guys. But anyways, that is my list of my top 10 favorite fire spells in the game, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed, guys, with a like rating down below, or you could subscribe for more content like this in the future. Wiz and Pirate, guys. Pirate sometimes, yeah, we'll get to that. But anyways, guys, hopefully y'all did enjoy the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know your lists down in the comments down below. Take care, guys, and peace out.